With a 3-hour runtime, a 94% Rotten Tomatoes rating, and over $127 million made in the first week, Oppenheimer is one of the most captivating stories being told in theaters today. Aside from Barbie, of course. Two of the most interesting characters in this film by far are Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, and Albert Einstein, who needs no introduction. But did you know that both of these historical geniuses were chess players? Shocker, right? Well, I'm about to show you a game played between the two of them in 1933, which was almost 100 years ago. That's crazy to think about. Let's hop into it. Just like his hair, Einstein's pieces in this game are white. So we have e4 from him and e5 from Oppenheimer. And so actually, pretty interesting. These players knew quite a bit of opening theory. Even in the 30s, like, they knew this opening, which is crazy. The Roy Lopez here, the Spanish, which even today is played all the time. Thousands of times this has been played, even up until this point. Now, usually d4 is the move that's played after knight takes pawn on e4, but Einstein plays rook e1, which is still fine. So we have d5 from Oppenheimer, and it looks like black has a pretty nice center here with a pretty advanced knight, but it's going to get chipped away at, and the knight is going to get booted. So we have a4 from Einstein, which, you know, it would have been better to play in the center, you know, kick out the knight, even strike with d4 right away, right? But instead he plays a4, playing on the side, trying to open up the rook and chip away at this queenside pawn structure that Oppenheimer has pushed forward. We have b4, so Oppenheimer decides to keep it closed over here. d3 kicks the knight out so that Einstein can win the pawn back in the center of the board. Now here, Oppenheimer plays pretty passively with knight e7. The computer says that the best approach is to take the knight in the center, but after check and the bishop blocks, then this bishop can actually take on d5, and you can't take because you're pinned, and you're not going to sack your queen, and you actually do lose the exchange here. But yeah, knight e7, though, I don't know, it's a bit passive here because the dark squared bishop is blocked in, and it's just going to be tough for black to get the king out of the center here. Queen f3 also is just on the board. This threatens checkmate in 1 on f7. Bishop e6 would be the correct way to defend against this, right? Develop a piece and also, you know, defend against the mate. And white would continue developing pieces and we would have a game. But instead, f6 is a massive blunder by Oppenheimer because of queen h5. Queen h5 check. Now, it would have been better, again, to play something like knight c6, pressuring the pinned knight on e7 and hitting the queen. So after the queen, you know, tries to maybe move out of the way, then you can take on d5 or take here, right? And just keep the pin going and increase pressure there. But hey, queen h5 is still a great move. Even before Puzzle Rush was invented, Einstein was doing Puzzle Rush. He plays knight takes g6. After this blocks the check, right? Knight takes g6, and he wins the rook on h8. If you've done Puzzle Rush, then you've probably seen this. It's a very common tactic when the f-pawn is pushed and this light square diagonal is weakened to give this check on h5 with the queen and then take the pawn with the knight and you win the rook over here. Okay, so we have knight takes b3 over here, just kind of removing one of the active pieces that's staring over at the king, and queen d6, but here's the thing, bishop h6, and yeah. Oppenheimer's got some problems. The rook is staring, pinning the knight. The bishop and the queen are staring at this bishop. And I got news for you. There's no way to defend this bishop. It's a goner. Yikes. Einstein is up 6 points of material and is just slaughtering the black king in the center of the board. So we have bishop b7. He's trying to run away. We see he brings the rook to defend the knight, which was also pinned now by the queen. And he's trying to push some pawns to get some shelter for his king to run away, but it's not going to work because we just have a rook coming to the center. Einstein, with this brilliant tactic that he's setting up here, rook a to d1. He sees that the queen and the king are on the same file, and he spots a knight sacrifice. Knight c4. Now, you don't have to take the knight. You can drop the queen back, but then rook takes c7 is coming, and this is just going to be no good. But instead, Oppenheimer takes the knight on c4, and after d takes c4, the queen is lost. The queen is pinned to the king. So he has to sacrifice the queen, and the king is just getting hunted. Bishop takes e7, and it's mate in 7. Oppenheimer did resign in this position because there is no way to prevent bishop here. And let's say you don't even take the rook, but black has no moves, right? Black has nothing. There's no way to prevent bishop b6, and then queen c7, and queen a7 mate. Again, you do nothing, check. Well, that's just mate in 1. Let's say you run here, then check and mate. There's no way to stop it. You can try, giving up the rook here, but just, you don't even take the rook back, which is crazy. You go queen f8, and then you take the rook. And then after king c7, you just have mate with queen d8, and then rook d6. So Oppenheimer resigned after bishop takes e7. But what a game, huh? These two scientific geniuses actually were not bad at chess. Einstein clearly had a higher skill set than Oppenheimer, but still, both of them are better than a lot of chess players out there. I just saw Oppenheimer in theaters last week, and I didn't know that these two people were chess players until I saw it. I was scrolling on social media, and I was like, oh, they played a game? I gotta make a video about it. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video and hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see me solve a Rubik's Cube several times while playing a blitz game of chess, then check out this video up here. All right, have a great day, guys.